Hey, what's up, guys? How you doing? It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this VANKYO V630, this projector, and how does it stack up as far as the performance, the quality, the noise. I'm gonna cover all of those bases right now. Well, the first thing first, this projector, it's probably the most quieter projector I have ever had. This one, it's smooth. It's still, you can hear it, but in comparison to, let's say, for example, this thing right here, which is my Bowmaker Parrot 1, you will see the difference. Here, I'll show you. I'm gonna turn this projector on. First, let me turn this off really quick. All right, so what I'm gonna do next is I'm gonna turn this projector on. This is VANKYO V630 Performance. I'm gonna turn it on, and I want you to listen to the difference between this V630 Performance and the Bowmaker Parrot 1. So let me turn it on here. All right, so now we're gonna move on to a Bowmaker Parrot 1. There it is. I'm gonna turn it on. I'll bring the camera closer here. Hold on. I forgot to plug it in. Like a yayo that I am. Forgot to plug it in. All right, so let me turn it on. Here's my big hairy Sasquatch forearm. Let's click power. And you can hear already this one is much louder. So let me go ahead and turn this one on. Let me go over here. Let me turn this one on. This one is a bit quieter. This one is a bit much louder. And this one over here, it's a bit quieter. So let me turn this one off. I mean, it's still loud, but guys, it's not as loud as all the other projectors. Now, when they say it's a bit quieter, don't expect this to be like some kind of a stealth projector. That's not what they mean. They just mean that it's not going to be as loud as those other ones. So it's going to be maybe 25% quieter than the other ones. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about the quality of these projectors and what makes them so unique. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to go to YouTube and find you something where I can talk about the quality, the sharp detail, and what makes this V630 performance projector more desirable over Bowmaker Parrot 1. Now, please, don't get me wrong. Both of these, Bowmaker Parrot 1 and V630, they're very identical, but there are some key minor differences, and I'm going to talk about that. All right, so one of the key things that you're going to notice right away, it's going to be a focus lens. The focus lens, what am I talking about? This right here, the focus lens, this projector really has a good focus lens. What does that mean? That means that when you are focusing the image, it becomes much sharper from all of the corners, from each corner, left, right, top, and bottom. And here, I'm going to show that to you right now. I'm going to demonstrate. Here, let me show you. Hold on. Just give me one sec. Here. Here's a good example. Right now, I'm going to go out of focus. I don't know if you guys can see. See how out of focus it is? Now I'm going to slowly move it to the focus. And you're going to see just how sharper it will become. Look how sharp that is. That's amazing. Look at that sharpness. And that's what you want on a projector. That's what you want to see. And here, I can get maybe a little bit closer so you guys can see a little bit better. Okay. So when you have this better focus lens built inside this projector, what happens is, well, from bottom to the top, to the right, to the left, guess what? You're going to have sharp image all over this 148 inches of the screen. All right? So just remember that. That's the key thing. Now, the keystone, it just means you moving the screen left and right in the different corners, top, up, and down. Keystone is just adjusting the screen where you want the screen to be. Okay, that's what that thing is. But the focus lens, that's the key thing that I think it's missing on the Bowmaker Parrot 1. And here's another interesting factor. This projector only has 5,000 to 1 contrast ratio, and the Bowmaker has 8,000 to 1 contrast ratio. But for some reason, the VANKYO V630 Performance with only 5,000 to 1 contrast ratio still gives you a better depth of picture. Also, let's keep in mind, these projectors are $200, all right? We're talking about a $200 projectors. So keep that in mind. We're not talking about $1,500, $1,200 projectors price point. And what's another thing that's great about this projector? The color accuracy. Again, I don't know what type of, IPS technology are they using to achieve this, but the color accuracy here, even though it's 8-bit, I think they're probably using sRGB, which is the highest 8-bit that you can go with. Okay, those 720p projectors are using a 6-bit, which is kind of ridiculous, but I think they might be using a sRGB. Either way, the color accuracy here is pretty darn good for a projector that's, again, $200. We're talking $200 here. Again, I don't know if it's sRGB. I'm guessing that it might be 8-bit sRGB. But I do know that it's a full native 1080p here. Now let's talk about the another important aspect of this projector, the sound. Now, here, I'm going to get closer to my projector. Now, yes, you can hear a little bit of a sound, but you can hear this fan running and running and running and running. But guess what? Once I move the volume up, you're going to barely hear that fan. Here, let me show you. Not bad. Hey, here you can see it. Look how bright Look how bright this projector is. We're talking, hold on. We're talking 6500 lux. This one is brighter than Bowmaker. So there's a couple of things here that I've noticed that makes it different from Bowmaker. Number one, obviously, it's the focus lens. It's much sharper. And that's very important. So that's number one. Number two is the fan noise. It's not as louder as, for example, on the Bowmaker. Bowmaker, it's like a Boeing 787. This is like, I would say, a drone noise. And then the third thing is obviously a higher lux brightness. Having that higher lux brightness definitely adds to a experience. Also, the speakers are pretty good too. Speakers are not bad. They sound pretty darn awesome for something that comes out of the box. Obviously, you want to use your sound bars and your speakers to truly take the advantage of this, but not bad. What else am I forgetting here? The contrast ratio. I already mentioned that. For some weird reason, this one has a lower contrast ratio, which is 5,000 to 1, but it looks better, in my opinion. And then another thing, obviously, is the color. The color accuracy here, I don't know why, but I know they're both 8-bit. They're both 8-bit. But I think this one might be sRGB IPS. It might be in-plane switching sRGB. I don't know. I haven't looked into it. I'm just guessing. So don't tear me to pieces. Okay? I'm just guessing. And I'm also just telling you what I'm seeing. To me personally, V630 performance by VANKYO has definitely more things going on than the Bowmaker Parrot 1. Number one, just the contrast ratio looks much better. Number two, the color accuracy looks much better. Number three, it's brighter, 6500 lux. Number four, it's quieter, much quieter, has a good speakers built into it. And the most important part that I want you guys to understand here, the focus lens, it's bananas how sharp it is. It's bananas, considering it's a $200 projector, okay? If this was a $1,500 projector, I would probably shit all over it. But we're talking about very affordable $200 projector. So you can't beat this at that price. All right. Not to mention that this projector has SD memory card, 2 HDMIs, 2 USB ports, 1 USB charger, 1 USB 3.0, VGA, composite cables. You can connect whatever you want to connect with this projector. You know, for $221, or with the tax, you know, $223. If you use that $40 coupon, the original price tag is $269, but if you use that $40 coupon on Amazon, it comes to $223. Okay? And I watched that fight, Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder. It looked freaking amazing. It looked freaking amazing on this projector. I watched a bunch of movies on it. I mean, here, maybe I can get a little bit closer, just to give you some perspective. I mean, how big this screen. People think 146 inch, it's a joke. Nope, 146 inch, man, it ain't no joke. So look how big 146 inch is. Just to give you some statistics here. Look how big 140. Now, if I'm like 12 feet away, of course, you want to be 12 feet away from the screen. You don't want to be so close to the screen. But here, you can see, I mean, this is crazy. Look how sharp the image is from this projector. Why? Because you got a really great focus lens. And this is what I've been trying to tell people, but no one seems to listen to me. People say, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm sure, because I got total of 10 projectors. Actually, total of 11 projectors. I have these projectors. I know the difference, guys. Just like I have a bunch of TVs, I know the difference. All right? I can see the difference. And I'm telling you, the focus lens on V630 performance, it's so much better. Because at here, you don't have any blurriness. From top to bottom to right to left, everything it's sharp. Everything it's sharply detailed. No issues, no problems. And that's a big bonus when it comes to this projector, guys. A huge bonus. And look, you can read the letters, no problem. No problem. Okay? Here, let me go walk around here. 12 feet away. 12 feet away! And look at my 75-inch. My 75-inch VIZIO 3D TV. It looks like a joke compared to 146-inch here. And look how beautiful it looks. Look at that. Okay, guys. Again, and I hate to sound like some guy repeating myself like a broken record. For this price point, if you can find me something better for this price point, with all of these features, I'm all eyes and I'm all ears, okay? If you can find me something better that's out there for this price point, guys, this is just simply remarkably awesome, okay? So I hope that this video, this is a speaker coming from this projector. Listen to it. You feel like you're there. Amazing. So people ask me, what am I using for picture settings? Well, here, I'll show it to you. For the contrast, I'm using a 63 because I want to have that nice contrast ratio between the black levels and the white levels. So I left the contrast at 63. Brightness, I left it at 46 so I can even up that nice contrast ratio between the black level and the white level. Color, I left it at 63 to squeeze as much of that color accuracy that I can from this supposedly sRGB 8-bit projector. And sharpness, I left it at 46. When it comes to the color temperature, guys, always keep it at medium. I'm not a fan of warm. I'm not a fan of cool. I just like to keep it in the middle, in a balanced middle, as I do for my television. So here, let me show you. So when it comes to the color temperature, I keep it at medium. Okay? That's where it should be. Well, there you have it, guys. I don't know what else I can say about this projector that I haven't said. It's definitely better, in my opinion. Listen, both projectors are great. Bowmaker and VANKYO V630 Performance and Parrot 1, they're both excellent projectors. But you're paying the same price. Why not go with the VANKYO V630? Because you do get better deal, in my opinion. You get a carrying bag. You get a better focus lens, better speakers, and of course, it's much quieter instead of Bowmaker Parrot 1. So I would say V630 Performance all the way, bro. So anyway, there you have it. I know it's not a fancy video. It's not like one of those state-of-the-art, 1 million subscriber fancy-pantsy videos with a bunch of editors and lighting and studio. Remember, I'm not trying to sell you a projector here. I'm just trying to give you my honest opinion. I don't work for VANKYO. I'm not sponsored by VANKYO. I'm just here trying to give you my honest opinion. That's what my channel is about. Okay? Honest. Which is something very difficult to find in 2020. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. And I'll catch you guys soon. Take care. Have a good one. Cheers. And all that good jazz. Have a good one. Take care.